Hi. So a thing happened. Pretty crappy thing. My mother's boyfriend died. So I'm in New Orleans now for 2 weeks. I hopped on the soonest plane I could, and I'm here to be with my mother because my brother's out of town and no one else really is around. I can't say I've ever experienced death before, and it's really weird. I'm just going to talk about Bob. Bob was a funny, weird guy. He had glasses, and he put them on really funny. He was very intelligent. He knew a lot of interesting facts. He really liked his tech. He was a proud gun owner, which I got into many arguments with him over. And he took good care of my mom, which is really nice. I really appreciate that. He's kind of a doof. Hey, Mom. I'm going to say it. Bob was an alcoholic. He was a very heavy drinker, and that lifestyle, that illness, led to his death in one way or another. Alcoholism has been in my life a lot. There are many people in my life that have had it or have had it around them. As a person who goes to school in Scotland, I'm surrounded by drinking a lot. It's such a heavy drinking culture. And I got really good at drinking. I know how to drink now. I was reflecting recently how I would go into LCBO, walk out with some Smirnoff Ice, and be like, yeah, I just bought alcohol. And now I know that's not what buying alcohol looks like. Alcohol, I think, is a very beautiful thing in a lot of ways, especially if you're around people that you trust and love and you want to have some fun laughs with. Even Jesus got drunk with his friends. That was a plot point in the Bible. But a lot of the time people drink because it kind of numbs certain feelings that they don't want to be looking at or dealing with. Bob certainly had his issues, and he drank to suppress those. The other alcoholics in my life have their issues, and they definitely drink to suppress those too. And, I've even done that before. I've had a bad day where, I don't even want to think about my life at the moment, so I'm just going to drink a little bit, get drunk, and pass out. It's a device in some ways, but alcoholics abuse that device to the point where they can't really function if they're not feeling that numbness, which is a really sad thing, especially when it impacts your day-to-day life. And as we all know, if something that's going on with your body or your brain is impacting your day-to-day life, we call that an illness. Being around my mom, she's obviously experiencing the loss of a dear loved one, the loved one in some ways, which only gets you thinking about what it would be like to lose your dearest loved one. And I can't help but feel that. I mean, I'm not in a relationship, but I have had relationships before, and I can only imagine what it would have felt like to lose that person when you were in the relationship. Regardless of ups and downs, it's to have the person not exist anymore is a lot. Kind of makes you think about all the bullshit that you've been thinking about and whether or not that matters. It kind of makes you feel really numb and weird, and I'm still processing it. I'm actually grieving. It's a very surreal experience that I'm fortunate to have never had to go through before. I have a very peculiar thought, actually. I've been having a very peculiar thought. I'm above grief. I don't want to grieve. I'm tired of these emotions. Why do I have to feel emotions? I figured out how to be happy. Didn't you see the last video? So there's part of me that's resisting the whole grieving process. It's weird. It's very weird. I mean, I'm going to be okay. I know everything's going to be okay. It's just right now is a big stumble that life has thrown in my face, and I've got to deal with it. Me and my mom. I mean, Mom's feeling it more than I am, I can tell you that much. The big thing with anyone who's having some sort of problem that affects your life or the lives of others around you is try to get help. The willingness to get help is the most important thing. If you don't have that, everything is impossible. I didn't realize Too Far Gone existed. I always thought you could always bounce back from where you are, but no, if you go too far in whatever substance abuse problem you're having, you will destroy your body. I'm getting older, and all my high school friends are getting married, having kids, buying houses. They're putting up these signs that, those mom signs. Smile because it happened. Or something, cheesy quotes and stuff. It's hilarious. When you get older, you get more responsibility. I'm 23, by the way, so if you're 18 watching this, don't get freaked out. Responsibility towards the people that you love and the people that you decide to call family, and responsibility to yourself. Because if other people are relying on you for any kind of means, sometimes the choices you make affect more than just you. And you can't just say, oh, well, it's my body, I can do whatever I want with it. Yeah, but maybe that's not the ethical thing, actually. I'll leave you with a story, a thing that Bob once told me. One time he was driving me and my brother somewhere, and I think I let slip the F-bomb or something. And he kind of pulled over the car, and he just was like, Ben, why'd you swear? And we ended up talking about cursing. And he told us, you should never swear, Ben. Don't swear, because when you do, it'll mean something. And I was like, never, but he does. Then he told a story about one of his coworkers. Let's call this guy Richard. He was a very quiet, meek guy. He came into conversations, he spoke very softly. If he ever had any point of disagreement with anyone, he would do it very politely, very kindly. But one day, something was happening. There was an argument going on, and it was about the safety of another coworker. In the midst of someone's rebuttal, where they were saying something very immoral, he slammed his fist down on the table and he said, "This is fucking ridiculous." Bob told us that in that moment in that room, everyone shut up because no one had ever heard him swear before. So for him to do so meant he meant business. And he told me that you should savor your curse words. There's going to come a time when you're going to really need one, and you're going to wish that no one had ever heard you say that before.